Ever had one of those trips where you're stuck next to a stranger for hours, and by the end, they feel like someone you've known your whole life? Yeah, this is one of those stories. Only this one took a turn that even I didn't see coming. Today's real travel confession comes from a Reddit contributor we'll call Elena. She was on a solo trip in Greece, ferry hopping between islands, and let's just say, this was one ride she wouldn't forget.
I boarded the ferry late, sweaty from sprinting through the port with my backpack bouncing, heart still racing from nearly missing the departure. I found an empty seat near the railing, but right before I could sit, he slid into the seat next to mine. Tall, sunburnt shoulders, a white linen shirt that looked like it had soaked up a few salty breezes, and a smile, one of those lazy, confident ones. "Mind if I sit?" he asked, even though he already had. I laughed. "Guess you already are." He introduced himself, Marco, and for the first hour, we traded stories. Where we'd been, where we were going. He smelled faintly of sunscreen and something citrusy, like bergamot. The kind of scent that makes you lean in just a little closer without realizing. At some point, the wind got colder, and without saying anything, he draped his hoodie over my shoulders. I should have given it back after I warmed up, but I didn't. We ended up standing by the railing, watching the sun melt into the sea. He pointed out little islands in the distance, telling me myths about them, his voice slow and steady. I remember my arm brushing his, and neither of us moving away. By the time the ferry docked, the port lights were twinkling, and neither of us wanted the night to end. He asked if I wanted to grab dinner, just a quick bite before finding my hotel. Dinner turned into wine, which turned into wandering cobblestone streets lit by strings of yellow lights. Every time he laughed, he leaned in close, like he didn't want to waste the moment across the space between us. When we finally stopped in front of my boutique hotel, I realized I was still wearing his hoodie. He stepped closer, his hand brushing my arm, and said softly, "You can keep it. Just think of me when you wear it." He kissed me, slow, lingering, just enough to make me forget what street I was on. And then, like something out of a movie, he smiled, said "Goodnight, Elena," and walked away. I stood there barefoot on the cool stone steps, watching him disappear into the alley, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. And then, he was gone.
Okay, Elena. I've got questions. Did you keep the hoodie? Did you two ever meet again? And why do I feel like Marco could talk half the island into falling in love with him in under an hour? And viewers, tell me, is this romantic, or is this just the perfect vacation fling setup? Because I've been on ferries, and let me tell you, the only thing I ever pick up is seasickness. If you've ever had a travel encounter that stuck with you long after you came home, drop it in the comments. Who knows, it might just end up in our next real travel confession.